Hello, everybody. Welcome to the River Channel broadcast of Hudson girls soccer playing in a looks like an invitational. I'm looking for the actual name of this. Looks like the One Team, One Dream UW Eau Claire. Lori, let's see, Bemb Benitzer Memorial Soccer Tournament. So that's kind of cool. I don't know that whole story, but I think it sounds like a pretty noble story for a tournament here at UWEC. We have the hometown Hudson Raiders from Hudson, Wisconsin. That's part of River Channel's territory. In blue, playing from left to right on your screen, and the visiting Kimberly High School. And I'm going to look for the name of their team here. I don't have a name of their mascot or what their team is, so I'll try to find that out. But Kimberly High School in white, playing from right to left on your screen. It's a rainy, dreary, chilly evening, afternoon, whatever you want to call it, here in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. But soccer's fun in those conditions, and me and my colleague Jeff Munter, we get to sit in the booth, so we're not sitting out in the rain, we're not cold, we have little to complain about. But we're certainly glad everybody's tuned in to today's match, and it should be a good match. Raiders applying early pressure. That's Sophie Bast on the far right here in the pink shoes. I'm going to try to locate the name of the Kimberly athletic team here. Looks like it's a bee or a hornet, but let's see if I can find the actual. Usually websites have it quite glaringly open, but not sure. Not obvious off of the Kimberly website here. But if anybody from Kimberly is watching this match, maybe you could drop it in the chat so I can be accurate in my play-by-play for Kimberly here. Score is still 0-0. We are about a minute into this match. Actually, about 3 minutes into this match. A lot of back and forth as these teams sort of feel each other out and see who's going to do what and kind of test the field conditions. You can have your warm-ups, but there's nothing like playing in a match here to understand what the field is like. And this is a really nice field for soccer. I was telling my colleague here that I guess it was about, yikes, let's see, about 33 years ago I graduated from UW Eau Claire, and this field didn't even exist back then. Kimberly on the attack. They're slipping one through, but offsides. Nice attempt there by Kimberly. Outside wing, just a hair offside, and it's going to give the Raiders a free kick here in the back, and that's going to be Maggie McConnell lining up to take that kick. And the Raiders get it through, but they're going to let it trickle all the way back to the Kimberly goalkeeper, who's going to give that ball punt. Paper makers, there it is. I'm assuming that's some kind of a bee or hornet, but the Kimberly paper makers, and I'm sure that's partly because of Kimberly's well known for the paper mills, I believe, and things like that in the territory. So now it's all making sense, but the bee I'm still not sure of. So again, if you're watching this from Kimberly, or maybe you're from Hudson and you know what that mascot for Kimberly is, drop it in the YouTube chat and educate me a bit. As well, if you're watching the match and you want me to give a shout out, I would love to know who you are, where you're from, and who you're watching, and that could be from either team, Kimberly or Hudson. All right, it's Nevaeh Tillman with the ball, sends a big left foot up the middle, trying to kind of just get that ball through in a hurry. Raiders play a lot of possession and moving the ball up with passing, which is has been very effective for them this season, as they are now 6-0 on the season, and hopefully they keep that going and keep that momentum moving. Looks like we have a couple subs in. See if I can identify them. Looks like for the Raiders, number 4, Ella Bast is in the game, as is number 12, Kelsey Roeder. And I missed Kelsey's name last night in the broadcast from Hudson. Hosted a game last night and against Menominee, and Kelsey Roeder, number 12, got into the game, but she wasn't on the roster because she was just brought up. And so now at least I can close that gap and give Kelsey the kudos she deserves for getting on the field. There's Tillman again with the ball. Sends it over to Raina Fort. Yeah, the Raiders are going to have three games in probably about 30-hour time period. That's a lot, especially when it's rainy and cool. And so probably see some little slightly different lineups here and there. Plus, these are also teams you may run into in the playoffs, so you don't want to you don't want them to know everything about you in case you got to play them in the sections at some point. So still waiting for our first real true scoring opportunity, and as these teams still try to figure things out. Kimberly is located, in case you didn't know, in the Appleton area, which is probably, I don't know, maybe 60, 70 miles southeast of Green Bay, and is a beautiful area. And this is a little jaunt for them to get to Eau Claire, that's for sure. Probably a 3-hour bus ride. These days they take nice buses, unlike when I grew up in high school and we'd take school buses for days on end for trips. But so that trip isn't going to be too bad for them. In fact, they're probably staying in a hotel here. Hudson girls are probably going home. That's only about an hour away, and these girls get to be in the comfort of their own beds, and they don't have a game till 2 o'clock tomorrow. So the Raiders will play again at 2 o'clock tomorrow against Holman High School. River Channel will not be broadcasting that game. And so this will be it, but we'll certainly report back next week as to what transpires here tomorrow. All right, Kimberly gets the throw in. Raiders pick it off. That's Kelsey Roeder again. Sends it up the middle, trying to make something happen. Here comes Natalie Ramthen. She's got speed. She lays out and gets a good shot off, but she had 2 closing in on her, and I think she maybe didn't quite have the time she wanted to set that shot up, but still a nice play. Raiders getting closer, but a nice save by Kimberly's goalkeeper. See if we can identify their goalkeeper. It looks like B. Bockert. So nice job to B for a nice save. McConnell with some nice footwork there and moving the ball up the field. Fort sending the ball to some space. No real Raiders there, and that ball gets out of bounds. It'll be a Kimberly throw. All right. We're about 10 minutes into the match. Our score remains 0-0. Raiders maybe with a advantage, slight advantage in possession, probably about a 6 minute to 4 minute advantage, maybe a little bit more. But only one real scoring opportunity for the Raiders and none yet for the Papermakers. Big cross in by Kimberly, but sends the ball out wide, and that's going to be a goal kick for Hannah Kendhammer and the Raiders. Joining the Raiders on the field now, we are going to have a couple substitutions. Did not catch the numbers of those subs, so we'll just keep moving on here. There's no announcing on these games from Eau Claire, the university here hosting the tournament, so we're going to do our best to identify everything for you that we can. That's Sophie Bast on the ball. Sophie's had a couple nice games lately, pumped in 2 goals last night, and now has 3 goals on the season. Ferrara sending that ball up to, looks like Morgan Monroe. Lindsay Ferrara had a goal last night as well for her 2nd goal. And Maggie Salama scored last night as well. The big news of the night, though, is Armana Rancinici with a hat trick last night. So big night for Armana in scoring, and the Raiders took it to Menominee with a score of 8-0 and an early end to that match, which was nice because it was raining as well. All right, Nevaeh Tillman gearing up to take this throw. Kind of a lower throw in, tougher trajectory. Raiders maintain it despite a slight clear by the Papermakers. McConnell's on it. She's got a little pressure on her, but she's got some skills and makes some nice foot turn, but gets picked off on the middle. Here come the Papermakers. They've got some numbers, but the Raiders are going to be able to maintain control. Hannah Kendhammer comes out and picks that off, and it's going to be a punt for the Raiders. The games I've witnessed so far have been more or less blowouts by the Raiders, so I've not seen the defense of the Raiders really challenged yet, or Hannah Kendhammer, so we'll see what Kimberly can do here today. They're bringing that ball out. They're trying to send it wide. The Papermakers made some nice decisions there, but the ball just didn't cooperate with them. All right, that is Natalie Ramthen entering the game and Ava Brown entering the game for the Raiders. Big throw by Kelsey Roeder. Kimberly gets a big clear. McConnell's going to have to chase this down with a little pressure on her. She does a kick-over move and is able to retrieve her own pass to herself. Nicely played, Maggie McConnell, and the ball comes straight up. Here comes Sophie Bast, who's got some speed, and she's going to keep that going just in case. It's a smart move to follow that in on a rainy night, because goalkeepers can, their hands can get slippery, and those balls can do weird things. So it's always wise to chase that ball in to some degree on those plays. There's Bast again, getting a little bit harassed, but she does a nice pullback. Goes for the clear, and Raiders are going to get a corner kick. That is a good opportunity for the Raiders. They are opportunistic on the corner kicks. Last night, a beautiful corner by Maggie McConnell and a brilliant header by Armana Rancinici, and several other good opportunities. So let's see what happens here with the corner kick. It's nice. It's right there. That's in a good spot. So McConnell places that ball nicely, but Kimberly owned the territory that it landed in, and the Raiders did not get a good opportunity there. But that's how it goes with corner kicks. It's timing. It's a little bit of luck, and there's a quick blast by Ferrara trying to catch the goalkeeper off guard, but to no avail. couple subs for Kimberly. Let's see if we can find their names here. We've got number 22, Ashlyn Kruger in, and I believe it was number 14, Skylar Bray, entering the game for the Papermakers. I love that name for some reason. Hello, Lee Mishler. Great to have you. Fort Myers, I bet your weather's a lot nicer than it is here in Hudson or in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Good to have you watching the Bast sisters, and hope you're enjoying some warm, nice weather in Fort Myers. One of my favorite places, actually. All right, Raiders get it up the line, goes off of one of the Papermakers, and the Raiders will get the throw-in. Big throw into Bast. Ransonici in the corner with it. Nice cutback. She goes for a quick left-footed turn, but just sneaks through. Rampton was on it. Raiders just trying to figure out the defense and find some seams. It's taking probably a little bit longer than usual, but that's how it goes. We're about, well, this clock is counting down. So we're about 27 minutes into the match. Time is flying. Here we go. Kimberly on it, going for a quick through ball out wide. 17. Oh, yeah, my math is off. Yeah. Oh, what a save by Kendhammer. Wow, great play, Hannah Kendhammer. Nice scoring attempt there by Kimberly, though. A nice move in, and that's Veda Susik with a great opportunity, but Kendhammer lays out. I'm not sure if that ball was maybe going to go wide, but Kendhammer was not taking any chances, and I love when a goalie does that just in case. So nice job, Hannah Kendhammer. So about 17 and a half minutes. I'm embarrassed of my math skills, even though I am a mathematician and a former math teacher. Yeah, it's been a long day. Let's just leave it at that. Another throw in. Kimberly tries to make something happen, goes off the Raiders again, and they'll throw one more time. They get that in. Raiders defense, there's McConnell. She's all over it, but Kimberly again trying to make something happen, and they're knocking on the door, and there's a shot in. Kendhammer deflects it out, and it's going to be Kimberly's first corner kick here tonight now. So we'll see what they can do on that opportunity. Corner kicks are one of the true great opportunities. That's why you'll see teams often bring the ball down to the goal line and try to work to get a corner kick, because it's just a free, easy opportunity to drop that ball in the scoring area. And let's see what they can do. They got a lot rushing in to meet that ball. There they are. They just mistimed it. They had several people right there and ready, but timing is everything, and it's tough. So good try, Kimberly. We'll now move to the goal kick for the Raiders. We have Lily Rouleau now entering the game for the Raiders. Lily's contributed a lot this season. Solid player, has a goal notched already this year, and we'll see what she can do here against these Papermakers. Big boot by Kendhammer, gets it across the midfield to Sophie Bast. We've got Sophie Bast, we've got Lindsay Ferrara and Maggie Salama up on the attacking end for the Raiders. Kimberly with the clear. Nevaeh Tillman with the head back. Fort in the middle with it. And then to Rouleau, and then out wide, but taken by Kimberly with the clear, but Rouleau brings it back, sends it far out wide, and that is going to go out of bounds for a Kimberly throw-in. Not sure the plans of all the girls, senior girls on the Raiders right now, but Maggie Salama, I do know I talked to her mom last night after the match, And Maggie will be attending UW Eau Claire here next year, so she's visiting, early visit to her new home here in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. So good choice, Maggie. It's where I went, and I loved it here, and hopefully you do too. Here comes Kimberly again, gearing up, starting to earn back a little more time of possession, and I'd say it's probably about 50-50 now. Kimberly's sort of taking the reins a bit and controlling the offensive end a little bit.
Taking the reins.
That wasn't even purposeful pun, but they're all taking some of the reins today. Although I think it's a let up right now. Foul on the Raiders. Big boot in by Kimberly. Trying to reset. It's about a 35-yard attempt and sends it wide, and the Raiders will get the goal kick here. Looks like we have a good crew watching the match right now. Glad to have everybody tuning into the River Channel. We try to broadcast as many games as possible. We shoot to broadcast every home game and as many away games that are reasonable. So Claire's about an hour. That's about our extent for away games, but we're glad to be here tonight. It's a fun night, and glad to bring it to those of you that can't make it here to Eau Claire, or maybe don't want to sit out on a cold, rainy day. But anyway, we welcome all of you to our broadcast. We will be broadcasting a couple games next week as well. It's a matchup with Chippewa Falls on Tuesday at Hudson Raider Stadium at 7 o'clock, and then a game in Rice Lake that I believe might be 50-50 that we're going to broadcast the Rice Lake game. That's a little bit of a haul, a little bit further than Eau Claire. It's a possibility. We'll let you know on Tuesday. It's not so much that I'm there, it's more of my colleague Jeff Munter being there, because he makes all the magic happen. He does the camera work, the sound work, the internet work, all the important stuff. So without me, you could still watch the game. So we got to see if Jeff can make it happen or not. Raiders playing some tough D. It's been a fun match so far to see the Raiders defense and goalkeeper with some challenges. We haven't seen a lot of that in conference play yet for the Raiders. So this has been a fun match so far and a good test for this team. Kimberly winning that ball and getting it back to their defense to move the ball around a bit more. Series of one-touch passes there by Kimberly, allowing them to advance, but Raiders defense is strong in the middle. They get the clear. That's Ava Brown out on the side. Sends it up the line, but the Paper Jacks take that one. McConnell's on it. And Paper Makers try to keep that ball in at the very last minute. I'm not sure who that would have went off of, but the Raiders bring it up. And now Kimberly gets another throw-in. Good match here so far. 0-0 is our score with we're about, now if I'm doing my math right, we're about 24 and a half minutes into the first half. Tillman with the throw. Paper Makers with the throw. Raiders defense all over it, trying to get the clear. Another blast in by the Paper Makers, and boy, that was a good opportunity. Ken Hammer makes a good save, but is not able to hold on to the ball, and Raiders are fortunate there were no other paper makers in the area that could have had a wide open goal for that. But nice job again, Hannah Kendhammer keeping that ball out of the goal. Rancinici on it. Kind of getting sandwiched. Ref calls a foul, and Raiders are going to get a free kick here to maybe advance this ball back into the offensive end to see what they can do. McConnell with a big kick up, gets it to Rancinici, runs into some defense. Raiders have had a couple close games that I was not able to attend. The game against Superior, which is a long ride for the Raiders for a conference game on a school night, ended in a 2-1 match, and the Raiders beat Marshfield 1-0. So they've had some close games. So we'll see how this one. This looks like it could be another tight matchup. Nice play by McConnell, getting out wide, sends it up to Rancinici. A little collision, not enough for a foul. Sometimes people fall down. It's all right. It's what happens. Here come the Raiders again, trying to slip a through ball through. I think the Raiders need a little bit more patience on some of those and take that ball to some space and then pull the defense apart a little bit because they're staying tight in the middle. But they'll figure that out. Another ball up the middle and gets to the goalkeeper for Kimberly. And we'll now have a punt here from Kimberly. Ball gets up. Not sure what the ref is calling here. Not sure what that was. If it was, seems like maybe offsides, but I'm gonna watch the replay here on this one. Not sure. Seems like there's plenty of defense behind her, but maybe there's a push off that I missed to some degree. Raiders get it up there and in there. Rouleau is on it, cleared by Kimberly. Tillman's gonna, misjudges that ball. Spinning wet balls can be tough. Raiders have enough defense to take on the Kimberly attack, but you still want to be careful in these conditions. Ball gets out to Rancinici. She's got some pressure right on her. She goes for a quick pop up the middle. Calling Rancinici on that one for a trip. That'll be a free kick for Kimberly. It's number 8 of Kimberly with the kick. That is Emily Urban. Clear there by Ava Brown. Gets it up to Rancinici, who just sends it up the middle, and again collected by Kimberly's goalkeeper. Both goalkeepers seen some action. We're about 29 minutes into the first half. Oh, there's a through ball. Close, but not offsides. Kendhammer plays that ball very nicely and sends the ball out, and that'll be a Kimberly throw-in. Takeaway there by the Raiders, some good team defense, and again they're going to just try to kick it up the middle long and see what they can do. And Kimberly's all over it. Bast is on it, getting sandwiched again. I'll say one thing Kimberly is seems to be quite good at is team defense, where one person sort of cuts off the angle and another comes in to try to take the ball. We You do that in certain situations, and they're pretty darn good at it because they've made that work a few times here tonight so far. It's two quality teams here. This is a fun game to watch. Kind of two different approaches so far this half with Kimberly passing the ball up, kind of grinding through it, and the Raiders using the long ball to try to advance the ball up the field more. So both teams with 0 goals, so the jury is out which strategy is going to pay off in the end, but we'll watch and see. Raiders get a goal kick here, and we have some subs coming in. It's like Lindsay Ferrara entering the game, and for Kimberly, we have number 7, Marie Van Zeeland, entering the game. Throw in here for the Raiders at about the 30-minute mark. Score continues to be 0-0. If you are coming out to Eau Claire, make sure you check the for tomorrow's game, make sure you check the schedule on the Hudson website for where that game is located, because it is not the same place tonight's game is on campus. It's out in the, I believe, the soccer field complex of Eau Claire, which is a beautiful complex. Not sure what the seating will be like, so if you're planning to go to that game, bring a lawn chair just in case. I'm not sure there is stadium seating out there now or not. It's been a few years since I coached teams that played there, but in the past it was all kind of just fields. So we'll see, but be prepared if you're coming out. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow though, but a little on the cool side, so should be a great day for soccer. Kimberly, so nice passing sequences, but the Raiders finally disrupt it. They didn't really advance the ball, but they kept control. Ava Brown is on it. Does a little hop step move and brings it back. Nice play. Big ball up by Kelsey Roeder. Again, trying to pump it far and up the middle. Taken out by the Papermakers, and comes Ferrara on the ball. Lindsay seems to be she's a senior, but she'd been playing club soccer the last few years for St. Croix versus playing on the school team, but joined the school team, but she's seems to be sort of a Swiss Army knife for the team. She's played midfield, striker, defense, so that's fun to see. Tricky ball there, gets away from Ava Brown, and it'll be a throw-in for the Papermakers. Nevaeh Tillman back in the match for the Raiders, and number 11, Grace Peters, in for the Papermakers, and Armana Rancinici taking a little break. 6 minutes left in the first half, and our score remains tied, 0-0. I'd say, we've had, the Papermakers have had one truly solid opportunity that Hannah Kendhammer made a nice save on, but other than that, not a lot of big scoring opportunities for either team. But here come the Papermakers applying some pressure. McConnell playing some solid D. And what I really like about what Maggie just did there is she kept control of that ball. Sometimes as soon as you get a step off the defender, players are inclined to just kick that ball away. But Maggie held control so that she could try to make something better happen than just kicking a blind shot. Oh my goodness. That was a textbook score by the Papermakers. Number 11, Grace Peters. It was a nice play by the Papermakers. They brought the ball deep to the line and fed it back, and that was nice passing sequences paying off. And Kendhammer did what she could to play the ball where it was when it was out wide. But when you do those little pass backs and the player is wide open, they've got the whole goal. And the Papermakers put it in. So Our score now at about the 25-minute mark of the first half, roughly, is Kimberly Papermakers 1, Hudson Raiders 0. A lot of time left in this game, though, and we'll see how the Raiders react to being down. Maybe the first time this season they've been down. All right, Ava Brown sends it up and long, up the middle again. We'll see if the Raiders can do something with it this time. But a clear by the Papermakers. Love a throw in from Ava Brown. And that Sophie Bass tries to get across there. Just didn't really have her feet set to get a real quality ball on, and that kind of spins off out of bounds, and it'll be a goal kick for Kimberly. Ball comes out wide. Papermakers looking to, now they play a long ball up, but Tillman takes that. Another long ball up. McConnell's on it though. Good little step move. Tillman goes for a big ball up the middle again, and that's going to get to the Papermakers goalkeeper one more time. Those big through balls need to be angled more away, kind of up the middle, but away from the goal, because it keeps the goalkeeper a little more committed to the goal than when you just put it straight up the middle. But we'll see where this goes for the Raiders on that. And another throw in here for the Papermakers. It's been a fun physical match so far, but definitely a clean physical game. Ball sneaks through. Papermakers are going to stay on it. McConnell's on it too. And she just plays that ball out of bounds, which is a smart move in that case. No room to do anything with, and you don't want to monkey around too much with that ball down there. Papermakers with a throw. Cross by the Papermakers, gets a little high and over everybody. Salama's on it. And referee's calling a corner kick. Looks like he's saying that went off Maggie. So Papermakers with about 2.5 minutes left in the first half, get a corner kick here. They got a crew waiting way outside to come in and meet that ball. We'll see how their timing works. Header out by the Raiders. Nice play, Raiders defense. Not sure who that was. I think it maybe was McConnell, but not sure. They get the clear. Be a throw in for Kimberly now. Big cross, hard cross, crossing slightly. I don't think that was a shot, but it's kind of an in-betweener, but Hannah Kendhammer takes that nicely. Tillman out wide. Can't quite see who that is out there. And off the Raiders will be another Kimberly throw-in. We're now down to about 1.5 minutes in the first half. Kimberly Papermakers still lead by a score of 1-0 over the Hudson Raiders. Throw-in coming. Header out by Kimberly. They're going to be very content to just keep putting that ball out of bounds and go into the half with the lead. Ferrara gets it. Raiders try to sneak one through there. But Kimberly gets the clear out of bounds again. Tillman with another throw. Kimberly gets the clear. This could be a little dangerous. Really nice play by Kelsey Roeder. takes that ball in a tough 1-to-1 situation with the ball hopping and controls it. Ends up putting it out of bounds, but that's a good play right now. Kimberly going for one more strike here at the end. Good shoulder-to-shoulder collision, no foul. Fort does a little tap pass, which is, I think, better than just. I think she thought about pounding that up the middle, but nobody was home, so it was a good pullback. But now Kimberly still has it. And then we're going to end here at the first half with our score. The Kimberly Papermakers 1 and the Raiders of Hudson 0. We'll see you back in about 10 minutes, folks. All right, welcome back to the second half of today's matchup at the Eau Claire Memorial Tournament. I'm going to check this app again, but we have the Hudson Raiders in blue, now playing from right to left on your screen, trailing the Kimberly Papermakers in white, playing from left to right on your screen. The score is Kimberly 1, Hudson 0. It's been a good match, and we'll see what the second half brings here. This is the Lori, I'm going to say this name wrong because it's kind of hard to read, Bembenitzer Memorial Tournament, hosted by UW Eau Claire's soccer program. Kimberly's got a little breakaway here. They get a quick shot off and another goal right off the bat for Kimberly. A nice breakaway. Had the position on the Raiders defender in the box. You don't really want to risk being too aggressive on defense there and leave it to your goalie to maybe make a big save, but a tough play for Ken Hammer on that. And the Raiders got a little hole to dig out of now. They're down 2-0. We're 1 minute into the first half, and lots of time, though. This Raider team can score in a hurry. We'll see how they retaliate on this. So they try to send a deep ball up, and that one goes out of bounds. Will be a Kimberly throw-in. Head over by Kimberly, back on the attack. McConnell with a good clear. Ferrara on it. Again, sends a ball at a tough angle there, and nobody home, and Kimberly picks it off, and Kimberly sends it up again, back on the attack. Raina Fort with the clear. Ramthen on it. Tillman on it. Angle. Tillman had the possession. She had the position, and that's number 7 of Kimberly, who took exception in some way, shape, or form, and gave a hard shove. That was Marie Van Zeeland, a very hard shove from behind. She's very fortunate that wasn't a card. Honestly, probably should have been, but referee's judgment is what matters, and Raiders get a free kick. We're now about 2.5 minutes into the match. Maybe that'll get the Raiders a little more fired up. Fort on it. Up and through, falls on the feet of Sophie Bast, tries to tap it out, but a lot of Papermakers back there on defense, and they get the ball out. Got some subs already at 3 minutes coming in for some Raiders here. Not sure who we have here. I'll see if I can locate. That's number 4. Oh, Ransonichi entering the game, and number 4, Elabast entering the game. Papermakers ride that one out, and they'll get a goal kick. Ransonichi on it, sends a left-footed off-balanced ball into the goal area, and the goalie's actually able to take that ball and give the Paper Jacks a reprieve on defense. Tough bounce there. Paper Jacks headed over to nobody, so Tillman's on it. Tiptoes around. I think we're seeing the paper makers with a little more energy right now, and moving to the ball a little harder, a little more aggressively. Raiders got to step that up to make some things happen here. Good angled ball there on that pass, and the paper makers get the ball into a good territory. Crisscross over. Close play there. Little chip shot play, and almost able to bury that one. Kendhammer again drawn to one spot. Comes a left-footed low blast. Kendhammer's on it, and Raiders avoid that attack. So Kimberly coming out strong this half offensively. Raiders yet to counter as of the first 5 minutes or so. High ball in, header over. Kendhammer came out, header got around, but sent it wide, and the Raiders with another goal kick of their own here. Kendhammer playing well. Both goals, tough balls for her to stop as the goalkeeper in those situations, and Raiders still easily within striking distance. They need to put together some passing combinations and get that ball into good positions offensively, and not get desperate here. There's still a lot of time. This Raiders team has a lot of scoring power, but they need to put this together and get back to some passing, I think. Here we go. Comes McConnell. Solid ball in, but tough angle for her teammates to get to, and that gets right to the goalkeeper and Kimberly with the punt. Rouleau on it. Good play by Rouleau to keep that ball in the offensive end. Ball goes off Kimberly, be a Raiders throw. All right, we've got a new Raider in, number 18. I'm not exactly sure who she is. She's not on the typical roster. I'm going to guess maybe that's Claire Nigon. If any of you Raider fans at home can confirm who number 18 of the Raiders is, I'd love to know for sure, but I'm going to guess that's Claire Nigon from the junior varsity roster. She's the only 18 on there, so good to have Claire on the field. Raiders playing a number of players that don't necessarily get as much varsity time, so getting some good playing minutes to build their depth, build some experience for girls as they get older. And Raiders had a good attempt there. Ferrara took a kind of a longer shot, probably about a 26-yard shot collected, and now kind of back and forth free throw or throw-ins here, and Kimberly now with the throw. Ransonici on it. Sandwiched again. Kimberly has been very good at double teaming the ball in dangerous places and just really kind of taking any moves you want to do in the box away. So the Raiders are going to have to, they got to adjust on that and do some quick passes and one-touch shots to get around that, at least in certain situations. punt off. Tillman's on it. Took a weird bounce off her shin. I think she's either hurt or her shoe's weird, but looks like she's back at full speed. Ball goes out wide. Tillman's oh, great header out by Tillman. Just a textbook clear. It was beautiful. Ball gets out to Rouleau, and that ball goes out of bounds, and it'll be a Kimberly throw-in. Ball gets around the net. Kendhammer will take the kick. We're about 10 minutes into the second half. Kimberly Papermakers with a lead of 2-0 over the Hudson Raiders in blue. And that's number 13, Morgan Monroe, entering the game for the Raiders. Ball gets through. Raiders trying to advance. Tough bounce for Kimberly, and the Raiders will get a throw in here. Here comes Tillman with the throw. Farrar sending the ball in the middle. McConnell on it, chasing that ball down all the way to Hannah Kendhammer. And a punt coming. Rouleau on it. Kimberly wins it though. Sends a through ball through, but that one goes a little too fast as well. And Kendhammer is there to pick it off. Through balls up the middle are always tough because there's always defense there. It's always in a position where the goalkeeper can get at it quickly if need be, because it's just a straight shot to the ball. But so we're not seeing that strategy working real well either way right now. Ball's out wide. Raiders might be able to. No, Kimberly's going to let that go. Just outpaces everybody and will be a kick for the Papermakers. About 12 minutes into the match. 28 minutes left. Lots of time to see where this game takes us. Big, low, long blast by the Papermakers. Quick turn. McConnell steps up to take that ball nicely. Plays a long ball out wide. Raiders are just kind of missing the angles a little bit on some of those balls, and but Kimberly's also, I think, playing those angles a little better than Raiders are maybe used to. So they got to play a little bit wider, a little bit closer maybe. Big clear there by Kimberly. All the way back to Raiders defense, Maggie McConnell. And Kelsey Roeder picking that ball up. Raiders are getting it into their offensive end. They're just struggling to make something meaningful happen. Again, big kicks are outpacing the strikers and kind of decreasing the offensive opportunities for the Raiders right now. Comes Monroe with the throw. Into Ramthen. Clear by the Papermakers. And they're able to get the ball. Tillman's letting her get it, but oh, she outruns Tillman. I wonder if something's wrong with Nevaeh, because that is not like her to get beat like that. Great save by Kendhammer there. Laying out again to make a nice save. Tillman gets the clear. But it seems like Tillman maybe has, there's something bothering her because She has the speed to not get beat. But I could be wrong. Ella Bast on the ball there. Thought I heard a whistle, but they must have heard something else, and the Raiders win that ball back again. I think Rouleau on it, sends it out wide. Again, too much on that ball, and it goes all the way up to the goalkeeper. We have a whole slew of players coming in, about 7, so I'm not going to worry about the names here, but just suffice it to say a lot of players are coming in. I'll try to get him. Go. Raiders keep working it out. Tillman with the trying to send that ball across the field and long, but picked off by Kimberly. Raiders on it. They bring it all the way back to Kendhammer, who will get the push up the field. Raiders on it. There's Monroe. Playing it out wide, but Raiders are right there. It's a nice play by, I believe that's Claire Nygon. And again, picked up by Kendhammer, who's played a nice goal in net so far for the Raiders. And we're about a little over 15, close to 16 minutes into the second half, and the Kimberly Papermakers lead 2-0 over the Raiders in blue. They get a nice ball out wide, just offside. Raiders are fortunate on that. And with that offside, I guess they're not going to sub here. It's always up to the referee if they want to allow subs on some of these, but they're saying no. And Maggie McConnell with the boot. Gets it up the field. Ella Bass challenges, but the Paper Jacks win it. Bring it out wide. Raiders need to mark up on these players. Big cross across, and Ferraro with the clear. Into the feet of the Papermakers, though. Big, low, long blast. It was probably about a 40-yard blast, but goes wide, be a goal kick, and then the subs are finally coming in for the Raiders. Number 2, Maggie Salama. Number 3, Ava Brown. Number 10, Caitlin Sanders. Number 14, Raina Fort. And number 16, I'm going to look through what we got here. Okay, I'm not sure who that is. 16 corresponds to Kelsey Roeder, who is also number 12, so I'm not sure who that was, but glad she's in the game. Raiders on it. Ferrara chasing. Big ball up for the Papermakers. Gets out wide. Ava Brown's on it, harassing. Oh, what a grab by Kendhammer. That's a ball in a lot of cases you would just sort of punch out and hope there's not a rebound shot, but I don't know how she did it, but she was stretching at full length and still able to catch that ball. So great play, Hannah Kendhammer. Ferrara's on it, just trying to dump it up, but picked off by the Papermakers. Ramthen on it. Again, we see the 2-person attacking defense by Kimberly, and they've really been controlling some of the offensive opportunities by the Raiders by just committing 2 defenders on certain Raider players, like Ramthen in that case. Throw in deep here for the Raiders. Ava Brown taking the throw. Into Ella Bast, getting harassed, but and eventually taken by the Papermakers. Back to Caitlin Sanders. Maggie McConnell staying in the middle. And the ball goes, another long ball up the sideline, and that is going to sneak out of bounds again and give Kimberly a goal kick. Non-stop games here at Simpson Field at the University of Wisconsin-Eau Claire. Really nice field facility here right on the upper campus. If you're unfamiliar with the UW-Eau Claire campus, they have what they call upper and lower campus. Upper is the dorms, the major food service, athletics, and some other facilities, when most of the academics are in the lower campus, which is down a pretty substantial hill. It's known simply as the Hill, and all the students that live on campus have to walk that hill at least once a day. So it's a good workout. I remember it well. Number 11, Armana Ransonici coming back into the match, giving Ella Bast a break. Ava Brown with the throw. Clear by Kimberly, but an awkward second attempt clear gives the Raiders another throw in here. Brown will take it again. Kimberly's got their entire 11 players back playing defense. They want to hold this shutout if they can, so the Raiders are going to have their work cut out for them. A nice wide play by McConnell. You got to stretch this defense if we want to score on them. We got to get the ball out wide and bring it back in, and because this defense is pretty tough for Kimberly, and they're playing back with numbers, so it's going to be even tougher. So the Raiders really got to stretch that defense out by getting the ball wide, drawing some defense out, and then crossing that ball in or getting some quick passing combinations into the scoring area. Easier said than done, says every coach of soccer and player. All right, Ramthan on it. Ramthan's had just a fantastic start to the season with 6 goals, and she's going to look to try to get at least one here and make this score a little more interesting. There's a lot of teams here for this tournament. Fun atmosphere. Let's see who's all here. We have the Ashland Girls Club. We have DC Everest. Eau Claire Memorial, of course. Eau Claire North, of course. And the Preble High School Hornets. Holman Vikings are here. The Hudson Raiders and Kimberly Papermakers. New Richmond Tigers. Pulaski Red Raiders. The Regis McDonald Saints. River Falls. I believe that's the Falcons. The Winneconne Wolves. That's one I've not heard before, Winneconne. The St. Francis Xavier High School team. So a great lineup of teams from all over the state here. Super fun. It's one more game tonight, Winneconne versus River Falls. This is the 5th game of the day here, with games starting as early as 4 o'clock. Some are actually at North High School playing as well. So I guess there's more of the games than just here. So tomorrow looks like it'll be a lot at Bollinger Field. Maybe all the games are. Few at Simpson. Raiders play at 2 o'clock tomorrow against Holman. I had a roommate in college here in Eau Claire from Holman, actually 2 guys. Another nice grab by Kent Hammer. Doing a lot to keep this score tight. Rancinici sends a long ball up the middle. Just defense there, and they send it back up the middle. Both teams kind of trading long through balls. That ball's out wide, but a clear offsides by the Papermakers, and Raiders will get a kick. About 16 minutes left in this match. Still a lot of time for our Raiders to get back on the board here. McConnell taking the kick. Big and long up the middle. Rancinici kind of glances off her. Gets out wide to Maggie Salama. Just pulling out wide. That's what we need to do. Now she needs to do a little cutback or a workaround, and then, bad luck. Be a throw in now for the Papermakers. Looks like Tillman got a breather, but she's coming back in, and hopefully maybe she seemed to have a little issue with her shoe before, so maybe she just needed to correct that. Ramthen in. Just too much time, and they were able to close on that, but that was a good opportunity for the Raiders. They're going to keep pounding it in there and seeing what they can do. Good playing there by Caitlin Sanders. Nevaeh Tillman back in. Lily Rouleau back in for your Raiders. And let's see what we can do, girls. Let's get something on the board here. Little collision. Rouleau brings it back. Tries a cutback move. Gets hammered from behind. I'm surprised there was no foul on that. But referee has a better angle than I do. And be a throw-in for the Papermakers. It's a hustle move there by the Papermakers. Raiders need to maybe step up a bit to win some of those balls. Tillman's on it. Gets it up to Raina Fort. Gets challenged. Ball goes out. It'll be a Raiders throw. Tillman on it. That's going to be a corner kick. Oh, no, I guess a goal kick. I thought that skimmed off a Kimberly player. Corner kick could be just what the Raiders asked for if they could maneuver to get one, but it'll be a goal kick here in this case. Still 13 minutes left. Lots of time for the Raiders to try to get something on the board and get that first goal in. Referee's stopping the game for some reason, something with Ava Brown, not sure what. Usually that's if there's a little blood for something maybe, or usually that's one of the only reasons they'll do that in a game. Otherwise injuries don't necessarily stop the game. It wait for a natural stoppage in most cases. So we'll hope everything with Ava is good, and we're going to resume play. Another throw in here for the Papermakers. Raiders defense fights it off. Raiders win those big plays, but they are kind of blasting it up the field. They need to look for the space and try to place those balls a little bit more. But here come the Papermakers again. They've got the ball out wide. Coming through with numbers, but pass goes behind most of the offensive partners that they had down there, and the Raiders turn it into a throw-in. 12 minutes left in the match. Our score, the Paper Makers of Kimberly High School 2. The Raiders of Hudson 0. Again, we got number 16 in. I'm not sure who that is. Let's see. Nope, it's not Kelsey Roeder. That's who we thought it was, but Raiders subbing in again. Sophie Bast heading out. Raiders bringing back in Ella Bast, replacing her sister Sophie Bast. And here we go.
Someone said we don't have enough bass.
There were actually, last night's game, 2 Basts for the Raiders and 1 Bast for Menominee. So there was 3 Basts on the field. Quick turn move there by the Raiders, but it gets out, and it'll be a throw-in for the Paper Makers. Big throw to space, but nobody there. The Raiders head it, but it goes out. It'll be another throw-in for the Paper Makers. Just starting to get dark here. I think this game will end before it's real dark. We have one more match after this one tonight. A number of these teams are probably going to be heading to hotels for the evening and some heading home. But they'll all be playing tomorrow. Getting some good matches in. Raiders defense all over it. They try for a clear that gets misdirected. Good final clear there by Tillman. Throw in here for the Paper Makers. Tillman with the throw. Come the Raiders trying to get back on the attack, and the Paper Makers step up and they get that ball through. They're carrying up the middle. It's a nice threaded pass to at an angle away from the goal. Kept Kendhammer honest and in the goal, but too much pressure from the Raiders defense, and that ball goes wide. It'll be a goal kick for the Raiders. There's a lot of Raiders getting playing time tonight, which I'm sure is part of Coach Gearing's goals this tournament, to get some good playing time for a number of players. So some of the usual combinations of players not on the field together, which is a little where some of those lack of chemistry and kind of knowing who's going to be where and things like that is probably coming from for the Raiders tonight. And there's been a lot of great instances here. Still time though. Ransanici's on it. She sends a ball up the middle. That one was a little more easily controlled by the Raiders and not outpacing them at least, which is a good adjustment. But the Paper Makers take it and they're bringing it back down, and they've got some numbers up to attack with. But great play there by number 12 Kelsey Roeder to get that ball outside for the Raiders. Like to thank, it's a little early, but still like to thank everybody for tuning in to today's River Channel broadcast, whether you're watching it live or off of the recorded version on YouTube or on Facebook. We appreciate you and look forward to you joining us for future matches. Most if not all home games will be broadcast, and whole bunch of away games. We will not be broadcasting tomorrow, though, so you need to head out to Eau Claire if you want to catch that match. Otherwise, we'll maybe have some scoring details and other information when we broadcast Tuesday's home game for the Raiders against Chippewa Falls. But I'm Jeff Ian. I'm your announcer. It's always a fun time to be at these matches. And I'm joined by my colleague Jeff Munter on the technical side. And we'll see what the Raiders can do here in the last 6 minutes. Still time for them to do a lot of damage. I've seen them score 2 or more goals in that amount of time many times over the years. So who knows? They're set up, trying to sneak it through, but a little bit off balance and not able to get on that what they want. It's a little breakaway here for Kimberly, and she sneaks it through. Tough to do. That was a great choice for a through ball. It had a ball that had the right pace, not too hard, and tough for anyone to catch. She was on a dead sprint before any of the Raiders kind of knew what was transpiring, and it was not going to catch her. Kendhammer in that awkward position of when do you come out, made her move, and a nice score, and snuck it right by Kendhammer, and Kimberly now out to a 3-0 lead. 3 nice goals by Kimberly. You can't take that away from them. They were 3 very nice scores. Tough position for Kendhammer for all 3 of them. Breakaways are tough for any goalkeeper. And see if the Raiders can retaliate here to some degree. If not, they'll go home and get a good night's sleep. 2 o'clock game tomorrow, and try to get back on that winning, get that win streak back going again. Ball goes wide. It'll be a Raiders throw-in. Tillman's going to take it. Down to about 5 minutes. Tillman with a nice jumping stop there. It was a great athletic move. Tough ball for Rancinici to control, and it spins off her and goes out of bounds off Kimberly for a Raiders throw. Kind of moving around, comes out to Tillman back on the D, and she's going to just lay it out wide and give Kimberly a throw. Good battle there, Ella Bass getting some pressure on so the Raiders could win that back. Kimberly really all over the ball, all over the field, which I think has given them the distinct advantage in this match. They've been really attacking everywhere. Usually 2 people attacking the ball everywhere. And they're going to have a throw in here. We're at about 3 minutes left in the match. Throwing quick by the Raiders, trying to make something happen here at the end. Rancinici on it, but gets out of her reach. Kelsey Roeder trying to send it back up. Raina Fort on it, back to Roeder. Salama goes down, no foul. Ball keeps advancing. And another throw-in for Kimberly. Big ball up for the Raiders. Ramthan's on it to try to make something happen. She's going to try to play it off for a corner, but she can win it back. Tries to sneak it across, but too much pressure from Kimberly's defense. They're holding strong. About just a hair over 2 minutes left in the match. Raiders with the throw. Ball sneaks through Salama's legs, but she's able to pull it back. And, oh, man, that was a nice spot to the Raiders. If someone from the Raiders had been there. Hard to know that's going to happen, but Raiders have had some opportunities and just didn't have people in the right spots. There's a sneaky shot through by the Raiders. Nice save by Kimberly's goalkeeper, though, sprawling out to make sure that was out. That's going to be a corner kick for the Raiders. All right, minute and a half. Let's put something together here. McConnell running in, and corner kicks are something Raiders are particularly strong at, and we'll see if they can put something together here. They usually get many more opportunities than they've had today. McConnell gears up, puts that ball up. It's a high and nice spot. Oh, Raiders right there. Oh, off the crossbar. Kind of a miss hit, but could have snuck in. Raiders put together a nice offensive attack there. That may be their last with only a minute left, but that's a nice strong way to end the game offensively. The rare shutout against the Raiders so far. They will come back strong, though. I have zero doubt about that. But again, good playing time for a lot of girls here to get some experience, to build some chemistry. It'll make for a strong off season and rest of the season and future of the program. Again, we're certainly appreciate everybody tuning in to our broadcast, and we'll just enjoy the last 30 seconds here, and I hope everybody has a great night and a great weekend. And if you are in Eau Claire tomorrow, I will be pulling for these Raider girls to pull out a victory tomorrow against Holman. Thanks again.